Sunday marks 5 years since the death of George Floyd. He was the black man killed by a white Minneapolis police officer who knelt on his neck for more than 9 minutes. Police officer Derek Chauvin was fired and charged with murder in that crime. It was that event that sparked a global movement, leading to nationwide protest against police brutality and calls for reform. I spoke with some members of our community about that movement and how it's still impacting us 5 years later. A college professor.
I remember when seeing the video for the first time, just feeling shocked, feeling pain, feeling hurt, confusion.
A college student, just as confused.
And I think ultimately, had that video not been taken, I think a lot of people in America might still have an ignorant mindset in regards to the issues within the policing system.
A retired police chief reflecting on the officer's actions.
I think it was just unbelievable to see something like that happen just before our eyes.
George Floyd!
A moment in time that turned into a movement. A man's final words, captured on camera, sending the world into a racial reckoning.
It gives you a new perspective on, that we all walk a different step of life and not everyone has the same experience.
Nikki Ferrante was 17 years old in 2020. He's in college now, a student of Dr. Ariel C. Howard at NC State, where her work is grounded in remembering racial violence.
We've always had, unfortunately, black people being killed by the hands of non-black people.
In this case, George Floyd died under the knee of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin.
It exposes everything in law enforcement in terms of how we restrain people, how you treat people, the blatant misuse of force.
A force that changed the tide in our country in conversations.
I think white people in our country need to hear that more than anyone, to be honest.
At corporations, including some that have since shifted their stance, as experts say DEI changes are now, 5 years later, being scaled back.
When it became DEI, I saw it as a trend, which when we think about trends always stop eventually.
And in community policing. How far do you think we've come policing in America in 2025, 5 years later?
Just looking holistically, I have to say, I think we've made great strides.
Former Raleigh Police Chief Estella Patterson believes justice was served in the case and law enforcement has changed course for the better.
We're making progress in the right direction in terms of that. I don't know how far that will continue to go.
The uncertainty also a concern for Dr. C. Howard.
We have to at least come to conversations with an open mind. And I don't know if we're there yet.
But she's doing her part, teaching hard lessons to students who might otherwise never know the truth.
She just cares so much about educating all of us and making our world such a better place, one student at a time.
In watching your story there, it reminds me that those conversations in places like NC State in that classroom are so important for the broader community to have, for us all to have with each other.
And I think it's so important. Nikki made the point. He said, I grew up in an all-white neighborhood, and I would have never had these conversations with people in my neighborhood if it wasn't for that class at NC State. So just opening up those conversations and finding safe spaces to have them.
Right. New moments of reflection 5 years later.
Totally.